All right. How's it going, you guys? This is Ride With Me Wednesday, but I am at home at the moment. I'm off today, so you get to enjoy this conversation from the comfortability of my own home. Let's see. Let me put a. Oh. Um, Questions as I talk. Done. All right. First, I want to get on here and say thank you for joining. Again, it's Ride With Me Wednesdays, but again, I'm not driving today. I'm at home. So I want to take some time to talk a little bit about who I am, where I come from, and give you what has worked for me as far as in business, as far as in being an entrepreneur, and as far as in getting ahead in life. I know I look young. I'm almost 40. I'm 37. I have an 8-year-old. I have a 6-year-old. Claire's 15 and a 12-year-old. So, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. So I just want to get on here and talk a little bit about who I am, where I come from, and let's talk business. And I will be drinking my shake as I talk. Again, my name is Rashad. I go by the Fit Optician. We're gonna go back into where I'm come from. So I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. Don't know where Little Rock, Arkansas. It's in the U.S. A small state right by Texas. I know a lot of people know where Texas is. I grew up very poor. I stayed in a 3-bedroom house. Me, my mom, my dad, me, my sister, my brother. We all shared one room. Grew up in the hood. If you don't know what the hood is, it's like a place where pretty much slums. I remember my youngest memories are people breaking in my house. I used to get robbed at least 3-4 times a year. Hey, how's it going? Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I say, I remember I remember having to sleep on the floor. People running around my house shooting. It was a rough situation. Just a rough situation I grew up in. That kind of made me want to do better for myself. I told myself when I was younger that I'll never put myself in a situation to where I had to deal with this type of stuff. And I didn't want my kids dealing with that type of stuff. Do you have a pet? Yes, I have a dog. She's actually laying right here. That's my dog, Raven. Now she up here. I don't want you, baby. So that's how I grew up. Grew up very poor. Played sports throughout my life. That's kind of how I got through my situation. I engulfed myself in basketball. Basketball became my passion. Basketball became my life, and that's all I cared about is playing basketball. That and my dad. I was a big daddy's baby, so anything my dad did, I did. My dad played football, which I really didn't pick up on football. He played basketball, so I really love playing basketball and weightlifting. So that's why I became a personal trainer, I do believe, because my dad had me lifting weights at a very, very young age. I've been working out, lifting weights since I was about 8. But yeah, my passion for basketball, I just knew that was going to get me into the situation that I wanted to be in, as far as in getting myself out the hood, taking care of my family, being successful. I just knew for a fact that when I was young, and everybody that plays sports have this aspiration of going to the NBA. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to the NBA. This is what I'm doing. I was really good. I do have some highlights on my YouTube, like from me playing in college, me playing semi-pro, and then me playing like the little rec leagues we have. So if you want to check those out, check those out. Let's go back into so what we're going to talk about. Okay, basketball. So again, I traced basketball pretty much all my life until I was about 30. Gave me the opportunity to play high school, High school, I played center. I am 5'9", and I played center. The reason why I played center is because I was able to jump. Like, I used to jump out the gym. I still can jump. I still can dunk. I just don't play basketball now. There's no reason for me to do that because I don't want to be hurt. I got important stuff to do. While I talk again, you guys can ask questions. So I played basketball pretty much all the way up until 30. Got a chance to play high school, play college. Got a chance to play overseas. So that's, that was my life up until I was around 30. Of course, me being in high school, I got my first job. What was my first job? My first job was the Finish Line. My first job was Finish Line. Loved it. I love shoes. And me being young and dumb, my first job was Waffle House. I forgot about that. My very first job was Waffle House. I worked at Waffle House for maybe a couple weeks, and I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And then I went to Finish Line. So went to Finish Line, sold shoes for a while, did that. Can't remember, I jumped from job to job, but when I got in college, the job, and this is where my management skills developed. I learned how to be do management or become a part of management when I was at Coca-Cola. I worked at Coca-Cola. Everybody knows what Coca-Cola is. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're just trying to give information away, just like this pod or this live. I'm gonna give a lot of information away how to better yourself as you grow. Like I say, I'm 38 years old. Well, about to be 38, and I've done this for a while. So if you're younger, just take some of the advice. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about, just let me know. So when I worked at Coca-Cola, I was around 19, 20 years old. Keep in mind, I still was chasing basketball. I got a chance to run their micro lab. If you don't know what a micro lab is, it's pretty much what you do is you take samples of products, take samples from cans, bottles, and you put them in a petri dish. And what it does, it grows the bacteria around whatever you took the sample from. So based off of those samples, you can tell whether that product passes or fails. So I did that for a little bit. And because this was a new industry for me, I love chemistry and I was young, I'm very ambitious. I wanted to know everything about Coca-Cola as far as in like all the operations. So I worked part-time in the micro lab. Then because, I got bored with it, I got used to doing the same things over and over again, I decided to go talk to some people in the warehouse. Me working in the warehouse, I had one guy teach me how to drive a forklift. I had another gentleman teach me how to run the recycling center. So they had a recycling center where you pretty much compact all the cans, run a crusher. Crusher is something like a big trash can, but it puts these cans into like big blocks. And what you do is you put them on pallets and you ship them off to be recycled. Got a chance to learn that, learned about merchandising, learned about pulling orders. And this is stuff that I didn't even have to do. Like, if you think about it, the stuff that I was doing in the warehouse, it was below my pay rate. So I made it as a 19-year-old at the time. It was like 2006, somewhere around there, 2006. So I was making like 25 an hour. So for a 19-year-old making 25 an hour is really, really good. I blew a lot of money, which I didn't, but you live and you learn. Have I ever played football? No, I've never played. No, I lied. I did play football. I played football 1 year in junior high. And I got hit for the first time. I played wide receiver. I got hit and I was like, yep, this is not for me. I'm going to stick to basketball. So that's why I wouldn't play basketball. I do believe wrestling is a big help. Wrestling is a big help for any sport. I don't think people realize how hard wrestling is. When I was in college, I played basketball for a school called Central Baptist College in Conway, Arkansas. And I got really close to the wrestling coach there. He let me wrestle with his rookies, his JV team. And man, they kicked my butt, man. I didn't realize how hard wrestling is. Wrestling is very hard. It's a very competitive sport. I know people think it's weird or looks weird, but it's very competitive and you learn a lot wrestling. So yeah, I agree. Wrestling does help in a lot, not just football, other areas in sports, the sports arena. So while I was at Coca-Cola, I learned how to operate the warehouse. With this, I talked a lot to the managers, learn how to pull orders, like everything that I feel like a manager should learn. That's where my learning experience started. So, and again, I'm still the micro lab. So I managed the micro lab, and when they needed me to help in the warehouse, they would be like, "Hey, what are you doing? You have time to come help." This led to me learning that part of the building, and then also getting extra hours. I had a dope schedule, and I kind of cheated my schedule a lot, but because I was in college playing basketball, it kind of worked out. So I did that for a while, and then I did that for the rest of my career at Coca-Cola, but also because I was known as the person in the plant around that area that did not mind helping out. That we had a full sanitation team. The sanitation team, what they did was after every line was done running for the day, we'll have to sanitize everything and also sanitize and clean everything. So we had to go to each line. We had a can line, which did like products like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Fanta Orange, Fanta Strawberry, just about anything in that area as far as in production, we ran it. And then we also did the Sonic water. So we had to strip all that stuff down. We had to clean it. We had to run chemicals through it. We had to test the line to make sure that it passes inspection. So we had to do all that. We had to do inspections. You had to do tests on the water that came from the lines to make sure that passed inspection. So it was a lot of stuff. But this position came open. They laid off a couple people. They asked if I wanted the position. I told them no, I didn't want the position because again, it was a pay decrease, but also because I was willing to learn everything. I decided, I will help out. I will help y'all out until y'all figure out this situation. So not only did I get a chance to learn the macro lab, I learned the warehouse, and now I'm learning sanitation. So the sanitation team, that came in really late. I think it was like maybe 1 o'clock to about 5 o'clock in the morning. What I would do, I come in at 1, 5, then I do my micro lab, and then I would go home, play basketball, go to school because I was still going to school during this time. So that gave me an aspect of me learning more stuff around the plant, being involved with more stuff. And then also it taught me how to network, taught me how to talk to people, how to talk to people that didn't look like me, talk to older people that, had knowledge. But it made me a very well-rounded person in that plant. And, I talked to a lot of people. So one day while I was there, I saw the syrup processing team manager come in. So that we also, like I said, we sanitized the lines, and then we also had a crew that actually mixed the drinks. So he came in, and I was just, talking to him because that's what I did, like talking to people. I asked him about syrup processing. I was like, hey, how does this work? Do y'all know, do they actually give you the recipe to, mix these products and something like that? He was like, no, but I can teach you. I can teach you what you want to know. I can teach you how to mix. Whenever you have time, just let me know. So protein shake. So I took the time to actually sit down with him every week, maybe like 2 or 3 days a week. He'll teach me how to mix. He'll teach me how to mix every single drink, check it, make sure the sugar level's good, make sure the content's good. And from there, I got an opportunity to not only inspect the syrups, the water that was coming through the line, I also got a chance to mix it. So at the back end of my career at Coca-Cola, I became a syrup processor. I loved it. Really easy stuff. I wasn't able to help out as much in the rest of the plant because I had a set schedule. I had to make sure this product was done right because we talk about thousands and thousands of dollars. And this is something I needed to focus on. But because I was willing to talk to people, willing to network, willing to learn stuff, it gave me an opportunity to make a lot of money as a young adult and ultimately lead to where I'm at now. Oh, yeah. So you say you do wrestling and it's so hard. The AC is broken. So the college that I went to, they didn't have AC. This college made so much money, but they didn't get the AC fixed. So we had this big space heater that we had to. It was like a room heater. But in the winters, it was really cold because they would not let us come in the building to heat up the building. So you had to go in. We had practice. We had college. You have 3 practices. You have morning practice. You have like weightlifting. You have individuals, and then you have team practice. That morning practice, we would have to go in and start practicing while the building was actually cold. Like you didn't have a chance to come in, preheat the building. They didn't want that. You had to practice. We like what I got on now, sweatpants. I got sweatpants on and a sweater. We would literally have to come in the gym, practice in this, warm up in this, and then once the building gets hot, then you start shedding your clothes. But I get it, bro. Like I've been through that, bro. Like so, just gut it out, man. I promise you that it'll pay off. All right, now we get into business. So after I left Coca-Cola, I was playing basketball in college. I needed a job. I ran across this company called LensCrafters. A lot of you guys know what LensCrafters is. They own Essilor, a big glasses company. It's kind of what I do now. I'm a licensed optician. Looking for a job, really needed a job, needed to make money. So I went into this shop, filling out applications, and I had an interview. So the interview went well. The group of people that got me into optics, this is like over almost 2 decades ago. I'm still friends with. I still talk to them, because I feel like these are the people that kind of helped change my life. But had the interview, and because I had a background in chemistry, it helped me negotiate for the amount of money that I made. So lesson number 1 is going to be know your value. Anytime you go into a situation to where you're going for a job interview, and listen, I've been doing management. I've been running businesses for about maybe 10 years, somewhere around there. So I know how it works. I know the back end of it. If you have any questions about business, let me know. I'll help you out. I also have my own 2 businesses. We can get into entrepreneurship. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Right now, we're just gonna kind of talk about business until somebody asks me a question. So, so know your worth, man. When you're going from a job to job, especially if it has anything directly related to what you've learned, your experiences, any type of career change, you should be going from job to job with some type of increase, whether it's monetary increase. It doesn't always have to be monetary increase, but either monetary increase, experiences increase, or responsibility increase. And the reason being, if you do these type of things, it's going to set you up for success, especially if you're in the same industry. Like you should never switch jobs without getting some sort of increase. That is your goal. Your goal is to do a good job, but also making sure that you're getting to the point to where you're financially stable and you're making more money. So if you ever switch jobs, try your best. Don't go for same pay. If a company offers you same pay to switch job to jobs, for the most part, you're just doing a lateral change. Like you're not gonna get you're not gonna make more money that way. You're not. And then also we're gonna talk about that later. So because I had this opportunity to take this job, and because of my background, I got a chance to make more money. So again, I'm still young. I like talking to people, but I didn't like sales at the moment. Now I love sales. I love talking to people. I love selling products, but I didn't like selling. I just like networking with the people inside of the building. So I went to LensCrafters solely as a lab tech. So anything about glasses, as far as in materials, coatings, sunglasses, polarization, anything about glasses, I learned right there in that lab. I learned formulas, learned decentration, vertex distance, anything about glasses I learned in the lab, which helped set me up for success when it comes to selling glasses. So this same group of people, because I caught on so well and I learned so much working with them, they met an investor and they decided to open up their own private practice. Private practice was called Crystal Vision for the retail side, and for the production side, they're called Absolute Digital. So I got a chance to go over there, and this is where kind of my entrepreneur mindset shifted, because working with these group of people, like I learned so much. Learned about construction, learned about negotiation, learned about products outside of what a typical company allows. So like, for instance, most optical shops, they sell very basic stuff. Like you're gonna see single vision lenses, line bifocals, progressives, and that's all you're gonna see. But there's so much more stuff out there when it comes to the optical side. So working with these group of people, I learned so much, learned about business, learned about managing, I learned about talking to different clients, because part of my job was to recruit. So me recruiting, thank you, I appreciate it. So hey, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. We're talking about business. If you have any questions about business, let me know. So part of my job was recruiting, and with me recruiting, I had to go talk to doctors. You got a young, and I'm gonna be real honest, this is how I am, a very blunt kid, a blunt person. You got a young black man talking to a lot of older white men about why they need our services. So learn how to talk to people, learn how to put myself in a room to where I'm uncomfortable talking to people that don't look like me. Again, like it was a struggle at first, but I got to the point to where I just saw people as people. Like people are just people. People put their shoes on just like you do. You should never be intimidated about talking to anybody. Nobody is better than you. Nobody is different from you for the most. Well, you have differences, but like there's nothing difference between you talking to somebody that looks like you that's 50, and most times somebody that's a different race that is 50. Like you're gonna still get the same conversation, same mindset for the most part when it comes to business. But don't be afraid to talk to people. And that I promise you that would push you, especially in the corporate ladder, so much further just by being that person that's not afraid to talk to people. So from there, I got an aspect of talking to people, meeting different people, and then I got out of my comfort zone of being just a lab tech. So because the company was two companies, it was Crystal Vision and Absolute Digital. Let me take a drink. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it does help. We're talking about fitness and business. Right now, we're talking about business, and we'll talk about glasses. We'll talk about glasses too. So I was, where are they at? Talking about, oh yeah, we're talking about talking to people that don't look like you. So because it was two businesses, I got a chance to work the retail side. The retail side is where I really honed my skills as far as in learning day-to-day operations, scheduling, insurance, finance, customer service, talking about materials. So because I had this background of talking to people that were on the lab side, it made it a lot more comfortable for me talking to people, customers, because I found myself, a customer have a question or have a complaint about something, and I could just pop off what I knew because I worked in lab for so long. For instance, they talk about my lenses are thick. Well, yes, your lenses are thick because you ordered a plastic lens. You should order a high index lens. Stuff like that. Like you learn from other parts of the organization, parts of doing different things. And this is why I say that if your main goal is to make money, which at a younger age, most people's main goal is to make money, you should be very comfortable being uncomfortable. And the reason why I say that is because most times you're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. You're going to be just a worker. But if you know you have the skills to further your education, be a light for whatever company that you're working at, be willing to take your skills elsewhere. The reason why I was able to make as much money as I make now, or learn the things that I learned now, or be the person I am now, is because I was willing to negotiate my price, negotiate how much money I wanted to make. And also, if I got with a company and I didn't see a ladder, I didn't see a way for me to move up, I would leave. I had no problem with leaving. I would find me another job. I would talk to the company that I'm currently working at, but hey, this opportunity came up. This is how much money they're offering me, and are you gonna match it? And if you're not gonna match it, then I'm gone. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and work for your company and work here, and knowing good and well that I should be making more money, and you're not gonna honor that. So I would leave. I would find another job. I would leave, and I would learn that process. I know a lot of people don't like doing that because when you switch a job to job, it does take you out of your comfortable zone, and you putting yourself into a situation to where you don't know. But you have to remember that the situation that you're in currently, that was once a situation that you didn't know. That was once an area of life that you was very uncomfortable with because you're in a new position, a new job, and you have to learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Put yourself in a position to where you're uncomfortable. Put yourself in a position where you can learn. Put yourself in a position to where you have to challenge yourself to grow. And I promise you it's going to pay off. I ran the company. This is where I started management. I ran Crystal Vision for a while because pretty much everybody left. They started venturing off to their own practices because they didn't like the way the private practice working. They wanted more money. But it opened up an opportunity for me to run this practice. And this is where I got to the point to where I started jumping job to job. I worked for Crystal Vision, Absolute Digital for about maybe 3 or 4 years. And then as the business was dying out, I noticed the business was dying out. I started working for a national retailer. Not going to say the name. I'm going to say the name, Stanton Optical. So I worked at Stanton Optical for my first time. They were just cold calling people. Call me like, hey, I got this management position open. The management position open is a store manager position. And we're looking for a store manager. You're managing a store now. I think you'll be perfect for it. I'm all happy for it, but okay, well, this is going to be another move. I negotiated my pay because I had already knew what I was worth. I already knew how much money I wanted to be making going forward. So I negotiated my pay. But when I got there, I was sold a lie. I came in not as the store manager. I came in as a manager in training. Pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm finna further my education. I'm finna, be a manager of a national retailer. And this was my first management position. So I was like, okay, well, this is where I was at in my life. I was entering an arena where I am in management, but I also was still chasing basketball. And this is another thing. If you have a goal in your life and you know exactly what you want to do, you know exactly where you want to be, follow that goal out. Like, I don't care what it looks like, especially if you feel like God's put it on your heart, follow that goal out. Y'all, hold on, let me take this off because I'm getting hot. Yeah, so follow that goal out. Like, if you don't, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. If you do not follow that goal out, what's going to happen is somebody else goals, somebody else opportunities, somebody else vision is going to be your life. You're going to find yourself unhappy. You're going to find yourself working for somebody that more than likely, not all people like this, not all retailers like this. You're gonna find you could find yourself working for somebody that don't care about you. They only see you as a person that's gonna get my vision taken care of. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but for the most part, people don't want to work for somebody like that. They want to work for a company that take care of you. They want to work for a company that value you. And most companies are not like that. And I feel like Stanton Optical wasn't like that. They just needed somebody in a position to run, to do what they need to do. But because I had a vision, I was focused on playing basketball. That was my goal. By this time, I did change my mind. Like, okay, well, I'm getting a little bit older. I know for a fact that I won't be playing basketball, make it to the NBA. Let me go overseas. So with me playing basketball, I still played basketball. I still trained hard. I still, when I was in school, I still went to practice. I still recorded my videos. Like I did everything I need to do to market myself. So while I was working at Stanton Optical, I got an opportunity to go overseas. So what I did was I didn't know how the situation was going to work. And because I had this position, I had saved up my PTO. I took a chance on myself. And you have to be willing to take a chance on yourself. Like, if you don't take a chance on yourself, you can't expect anybody else to take a chance on yourself. So took a chance. I went to Mexico. I was scheduled to be there for only like a week. And it was a tryout for a team. And when I got there, I killed it. I took my vacation, went overseas, went to Mexico, played basketball, and I never came back. Never came back to the job. I remember getting a call from my regional manager at the time. She was like, hey, we need you back at work. When you coming back? You've been gone for a week. I just told her I wasn't coming back. Didn't give a 2-week notice. Didn't do anything. And this brings up my next point. This is my personal feeling, and a lot of people disagree, especially my wife would disagree because she works at HR. I feel like if you're not in a position to put a 2 weeks notice in, hey, do what you got to do. A job is going to come up. A job is a job. Like, if this is just a job to you, hey, if it's time to go, it's time to go. Because what's going to happen if the company needs to lay you off for whatever reason? A lot of companies that lay people off, they don't give them a notice. Let's just say a company needs to fire you. You know how most companies fire people? And this is because I've been in management. I didn't do this because I didn't think it was right. But when a company gets ready to fire you, what they would do, they would have you work your entire day out or work until about noon, and then they would release you. They would tell you that, hey, your service is no longer wanted here. I wish you the best of luck. So with that being said, I mean, I just feel like, me personally, if I want to put a 2 weeks notice in, I put a 2 weeks notice in. But if I also feel like it's time for me to go, then I'm going to leave. It's just that simple, that point blank. I got another 15 minutes and then I got to wrap it up because I got to get on Whatnot and help people with glasses. So, but yeah, if you don't have a chance to put a 2 weeks notice in, don't put a 2 weeks notice in. Work what you do. Make sure if you're going to a different place, it's something that you want to do. Make sure that you have a goal. Make sure you follow your goal. And then if it's time to leave, then it's just time to leave. So I did that. I went overseas, played basketball for a couple of years. Came back. I got my license. Had my son, and it was go mode. At this point in my life, I wanted to know as much as I can about business. So I started working in a private practice, helped him build his business for a while. And then because I had networked with somebody in optics, and he trusted me, he understood, where I came from. He understood that I knew about business. I got a chance to run another store on the military base called Vista Optical. I ran that place, and I know I'm finna start speeding up because I gotta go. But ran that for about a couple years. Ran Vista Optical about a couple years. Then I got a chance to come back and run a Stanton Optical. And this is the reason why I say that sometimes, when it's time to leave, it's time to leave. I worked back at Stanton Optical as a store manager after I previously left and didn't put a 2 weeks notice in. So if a company knows your worth, knows what you can do, or because you network with people, they can hire you back. They will hire you back if they understand your work ethic. They understand that you know what you need to know. So yeah, just know your work ethic, know your worth, and pursue your dreams. Like pursue your dreams to the fullest. Now about management. Management jobs are easy to find. Like, it might seem like it's a lot harder to get into management, but management jobs are easy to find. They really are. Especially if you have a specialized industry that you're in and you've been working there for quite a while. Your next step, your next role will be going into management. So the thing that you can do to prepare yourself for that role or for that position is to help your leaders out, whether it's scheduling, inventory, assisting with projects, PowerPoints, like all that stuff comes with management. Just get your hands dirty, get comfortable doing those type of things, and make sure that you stand on top of your KPIs. If you don't know what KPI is, a key performance indicator. So you just want to make sure that you stand on top of your production, make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. But I feel like if you have the knack for it, everybody should jump into management. Management is a lot. You're gonna get the worst shifts sometimes. You're gonna have to stay up late doing PowerPoints. You're gonna have to do conference calls. Deal with upper management regionals. Like regionals can be a little bit scary, which when you get into management, you learn that it's not scary. It's just you dealing with another type of boss. But if you have the knack for it and you like that type of stuff, get into management. Like it's definitely gonna help you out. It comes with its perks. You make more money. You get to pick your schedule for the most part. You get rewards. You get gifts from the company. Like push yourself into management. Push yourself into learning that skill, and it's gonna take you anywhere you want to go. When you learn how to manage one business, you can go into another different type of business and manage that business. All the stuff kind of stays the same. You're still gonna do scheduling. You're still gonna be doing customer service. You're still gonna be working with your staff, and that type of stuff. It's all management positions type stuff, and you learn that with your first management position. One thing that I do say about management, one thing that I've learned that to be a great leader, to be a great manager, and you keep your staff. One, you have to show compassion to the people that you're managing. Like it's almost like, and this is what I call management. Anytime I talk to somebody about management, I call it babysitting adults, because that's what you're doing. You have to cater to personalities. You have to cater to schedules. You have to cater to mood swings. You just gotta cater to all this stuff. But again, it has its rewards. If you're catering to your people the way they need to be catered to, then you'll have a staff. You'll keep your staff. You don't have to worry about your staff leaving. Like turnover won't be so high. That's another KPI that you got to worry about, turnover. But like those are the type of things that you have to learn as far as in management if you want to be a successful manager. And I'll do another talk on management just by itself. But yeah, just put yourself into learning management. That'll get you further than knowing a skill. Yes, I do know optics. I've been in optics for a while. However, my management skills is what keep propelling me to be a better person. It propels me to be a better business owner now. And then also it helps you with customer service, because most times managers don't have the day-to-day transactions as most people. They always get the problems. They always get the customer service issues. They always get the bad Google reviews, customer escalations. Like that is part of your management position. Learning how to deal with those people and talk to those people and effectively help them without having a return, with making an angry customer a happy customer. That's the type of stuff that you learn with management. And to be a successful manager, you have to learn how to do that stuff without you having a particular feeling about the situation. Because you got to remember, the situation that you're going to get, the situation as a manager that you're going to face is not about you. One is about the customer, and then two is about the employee that helped the customer before, most cases. Or it's about something that the company did. So I really hate to cut this time short, because I really enjoyed this talk. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to do a part 2 to this. I really want to do a part 2 to this because I didn't get my full thoughts out. But I think we hit a really good point as far as in setting yourself up for success, and then finding goals or finding ways to reach that success. So I really hope this talk helped you guys. And if you have time, and if you want to know about glasses, hop on over to Whatnot. Whatnot is an app. It's a yellow W. And I'll be live on there in the next 15 minutes talking about glasses. So I really want you guys to tune in, and I will see you guys in Whatnot. And if not, I'll see you guys next Wednesday with Ride With Me. Y'all have a good one.